with the success of Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire, bringing in $567 million at the box office, Godzilla X Kong was a success, and they've already gone ahead and greenlit a sequel to release in 2027. Interesting why there's such a big gap, seeing as we already have someone penning the movie already, as in the script is already being written from a Shang-Chi screenwriter, which a lot of people seem to like. David Cunningham is set to pen the script for Godzilla X Kong, but realistically, he does know a lot because he was involved with the original Godzilla movie when it comes to the MonsterVerse, at least. So he has worked on some pretty cool stuff. He's worked on a lot of big projects like Wonder Woman 84, which sucked. He worked on Mortal Kombat, which I liked, and he worked on Spider-Man Across the Spideyverse and the original 2014 Godzilla movie. So he's got a pretty good resume when it comes to movies, minus Shang-Chi and Wonder Woman 84. So I think it will be interesting. So we've got a release date for the movie, 2027. We've also got a scriptwriter. We've also got a director. So basically anything Adam Wingard said about he was going to use Baby Godzilla, Junior Godzilla, he's going to pull on Destroyer versus Godzilla, it can kind of be thrown out of the water to a certain degree. So why is a movie going to take to 2027 if we've already got the script being worked on months already? We've got a director. They could start shooting. This movie could come out way sooner than the actual release date. So yo, what is freaking good YouTube voice here if you're new around, which I never miss in the Marvel, DC, Kaiju, MonsterVerse, pop culture based content that I try to deliver on a daily basis. If you could subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on, and let me know who do you want the big bad to be for Godzilla X Kong 3, which is not the official title, but let's just go with that. The trades are using Godzilla X Kong, the sequel, but that's technically not true. So a lot of people will say Space Godzilla, and we're going to go over some details, some exclusive details that I've heard about the current script. I've heard some pretty interesting details, and as you know, Warstu, your boy Warstu, I actually generally get a lot of information right when it comes to MonsterVerse stuff. So when I do talk about the plot leak stuff, I'm not going to say it's plot leak, it's stuff I've been told, but it's also stuff I've been told that I'm allowed to put out there. So it's not necessarily a plot leak, it's just details I have, and I want to put it out there because I find it very interesting based on what I've been told. So a lot of people want Space Godzilla or Destroyer, but Destroyer is like a Thanos level type villain, so do we need him? No. Gigant's another one that a lot of people were talking about. But yeah, I'd love to know, who do you want? Because obviously when Adam Wingard was still going to be the director for the third movie, people were basically saying Destroyer confirmed, and you know me, I'll report anything. It did seem like it was going that way, but are they really gonna bring Space Godzilla in? I'll tell you later on. I just want to know what you guys think. So it's a weird time in the MonsterVerse at the moment, because although Godzilla X Kong: The Empire was a very good movie, a lot of the fans, I do watch some of the other MonsterVerse channels. I don't need to mention names. You know who I'm talking to. I've appeared on some of the channels, I believe, if I can remember. And a lot of people seem to think that Godzilla is getting sidelined. And he is. And I don't know why. I mean, I understand why. It's to do with ticket sales and because children love Kong, but children also love Godzilla. I guess Godzilla's a bit scarier than Kong, and it's to do with toy sales mainly. And the way Monarch Legacy Season 2 looks like it's going is we had the whole Kong reveal towards the end of the season finale. So it probably looks like Kong's going to be a centric part of that. But let's be honest, the Top G himself, sure, he was in Season 1, and I think it's a very good TV show on Apple TV. But Godzilla didn't really appear much on that either, really, did he? If you actually total up the amount of time he was in that, Godzilla didn't really appear much. So according to a Variety article, Season 2 will move to production to British Columbia, Canada, Queensland, Australia. It'll be the biggest series ever. So the scale of everything is going to be a lot bigger. As for the plot and all that kind of stuff, there's not really any details out there. Like, some of the cast and crew are sharing pictures from like behind the scenes, like they do. Various MonsterVerse Twitter pages, so on and so forth, have been sharing various things. But realistically, there isn't much new information about what is to be expected. You can expect a Kong-centric storyline, the Apex kind of tease at the end, so you can expect that to play a part. Some people seem to think that Mecha Godzilla is going to be a pinnacle part of Godzilla X3, which, would they do that? I mean, Mecha Godzilla again? Like, I don't really personally think they would do that. What is interesting is Apple TV were supposed to be developing multiple spin-off shows, but as far as we understand, I can't find any details about these actual other spin-off shows, so I could be completely wrong, but I don't think I am. So, what have I heard about Godzilla X Kong 3? So, I mean, take this with a pinch of salt, but I do have quite a good reputation when it comes to getting details. So, I'm not necessarily going to say this is true, not necessarily going to say this is a leak. So, obviously, the movie is going to be set after the events of Godzilla X Kong, The New Empire, be set a couple of years after that. So, from what I understand, the main vocal point is the American government are going to get heavily involved in trying to harness the energy, basically trying to like manipulate and use the energy from Hollow Earth, which, I mean, with Monarch and with Apex, I mean, they're already starting to somewhat do that. And I do find it interesting when people tell me stuff. I mean, this is coming from a somewhat credible source. So according to this information, now take it with a pinch of salt, okay? Now take this with a pinch of salt. As you know me, I will report anything. I just find it interesting. So apparently, Space Godzilla is going to appear in this movie. And apparently, Shimo is going to die in this movie. I know, big details. Also, apparently, Gigan is going to appear. Some big details. So the information going around, well, it's going around if you can find it, is Gigan is an artificial cyborg titan that will be created by Monarch for some reason. Like I say, it's not really, so to speak, a plot leak. It's just plot details that I've been given. So apparently Space Godzilla will be the main villain of the movie, and Gigan will also appear at some point. Apparently they're going all out with this movie. This is just some details I've heard. So apparently Destroyer doesn't actually appear properly in this movie. Apparently there is like a stinger right towards the end of the movie where they set up Destroyer being the big bad for the next movie. And by the end of this movie, apparently Godzilla will actually be the main focus of the kaiju MonsterVerse in the sense of Legendary's MonsterVerse. Now, I mean, do I believe this information? I don't know, because you're telling me Space Godzilla, Destroyer tease, Gigan, 3 big titans. Legendary don't really normally license Toho characters out. What do I mean? Well, Shimo, I mean, if you do some background information, it turns out Shimo is actually a proper titan. But it looks like they made Shimo, realistically. And Shimo was Space Godzilla. So they'd have to pay Toho. And Legendary's got money because the Doom movie does well. Godzilla X Kong does well. They've had some pretty good hits recently. So they could afford to buy the licenses for Space Godzilla, Gigan, and Destroyer if they wanted to. Do I believe this? I don't know. I mean, the information's coming from a credible source that has a pretty good track record, but is it too early? I don't think it is too early for information to come out. Why? Because they've literally had a scriptwriter, David Callahan, writing the script for at least 3-4 months. And if you followed this channel for any time, you would know that generally the information I put out there, 90% of the time, there's a lot of truth to what I'm saying. So that would be cool. And you're probably wondering, why haven't I mentioned Kong? Because I didn't get any information about Kong, apart from Kong will be in the movie, but this time Kong will either be sidelined like Godzilla was in Godzilla X Kong, or Kong will have a separate kind of mission in the movie, and then they have to come together towards the end of the movie with Top G in order to take out whoever or whomever will be the big bad after Shimo is killed in Godzilla X Kong 3. Although the details said that Space Godzilla and Gigan were in it and there's Destroyer tease, I don't know if I mean, if you've followed the channel for a minute, you know I want Space Godzilla to appear. But do I believe a plot information where Space Godzilla, Destroyer, and Gigan all appear in the same movie? Even for me, lads, it's a little bit unbelievable. So, but like always, I always cover stuff. And like I've said, I've given my opinion. Is it going to be true? We don't know until obviously the movie comes out. I wish they'd go back more to being raw and ready like they were with the original Godzilla movie, and more like King of the Monsters movie, where there's a lot more action going on and they're actually outside and it looked beautiful. I think King of the Monsters gets so much more hate than it realistically deserves. So let me know, guys. And don't hate, don't put it out there like this is official information. I mean, hell, you can if you want to, but like I say, it's just some information that I've come across recently. Well, actually, about a month ago, but I've been sat on it because I was waiting to see if anything else came out that will back this up, but nothing has. So I'm just going to put it out there, but with kind of like a I don't know if it's true or not kind of scenario. So like always, guys, check us out on Instagram at Warstu, check us out on Twitter, Warstu, and I'll catch you in another video very soon. Catch you later.